Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a senior leader or stakeholder, you already know that in the fast-paced world of information technology, the word deadline comes up in basically every single meeting, document, and project plan you look at. But today, we're going to totally reframe how we look at IT deadlines. We are moving away from seeing them as simple calendar dates or technical markers. Instead, we're going to view them as what they truly are, the absolute ultimate levers of budget, risk, and client trust for your enterprise.
To understand their true business impact, we really need to ask ourselves a critical question. What is the true cost of a missed IT deadline? Like, what actually happens to the enterprise when an IT milestone slips through the cracks? I'll tell you right now, it is rarely just a matter of a frustrated project manager or a menacing red box on a Gantt chart staring back at you. The consequences ripple outward almost immediately. They affect your revenue, your security posture, and your reputation in the market.
In this executive briefing, we're going to cover 4 key areas. First, why a deadline is more than a date. Second, the bottom line impact. Third, the anatomy of a deadline. And finally, a blueprint for execution.
Let's jump right into Section 1, More Than a Date, Redefining the IT Deadline.
Okay, so at its core, how do we actually define a deadline in IT? Well, it's the set date and time by which a specific task, milestone, or project must be completed to ensure the final product is delivered exactly as promised. Now, down in the IT trenches, this is exactly what helps teams stay organized and track their daily progress. But let's zoom out for a second. For you, sitting in the leadership seat, it serves as a completely non-negotiable commitment to business continuity. It's the promise that keeps the whole engine running.
It's actually kind of fascinating to contrast 2 very different perspectives on the exact same event. On the technical side, your IT teams are sweating over testing cycles, software releases, and individual coding tasks. But from the C-suite business view, those exact same dates represent massive system launches, vital client deliverables, and critical infrastructure upgrades. By contrasting those technical mechanics with your business outcomes, we can clearly see that these dates aren't just arbitrary markers. They are fundamentally tied to massive systemic events and your most important client commitments.
Moving right along to Section 2, the bottom line impact, or, as I like to call it, the cost of the ripple. Think about how a standard IT timeline unfolds and just how incredibly fragile it can be. We start with planning over several weeks, move into development taking months, then testing for a few more weeks, all culminating in that single final delivery day. Because so many IT tasks depend completely on one another across these weeks and months, a single missed deadline at any stage creates a massive domino effect. It completely derails the entire project schedule. You aren't just losing a day in the development phase, you're pushing back an entire interdependent chain of events that pushes out your final delivery.
And here is where it really hits home. Strict deadlines control your budget and prevent unnecessary spending. Delays in that timeline we just talked about, they directly translate to extra unbudgeted costs. Look, it's an open secret in the industry that extended testing cycles are exactly where profit margins go to die. Every extra week of development or testing is a week of unexpected payroll, extended contractor fees, and crazy operational overhead. Clear, well-managed deadlines are absolutely crucial for controlling your budget and preventing costly resource burnout among your top engineering talent.
But of course, the impact doesn't just stop at the spreadsheet. Hitting these marks ensures client satisfaction and professional credibility. Your clients expect features, software, or solutions to be delivered within a specific agreed-upon time frame. Meeting these dates consistently is literally the foundation for building trust. If your organization consistently misses deliverables, your enterprise's professional credibility takes a huge hit. And you know as well as I do, that directly impacts your future revenue, upselling opportunities, and long-term client retention.
Furthermore, as senior stakeholders, I know risk mitigation is always top of mind for you. Well, managing deadlines effectively reduces risk and prevents security vulnerabilities. In the IT world, enforcing timely updates and patches ensures critical defensive tasks aren't just left hanging. If a vital security patch gets delayed simply because a team missed an internal deadline, that leaves a dangerous window wide open for cyber threats, drastically increasing your organizational risk. This alone elevates the IT deadline from a simple project management tool into a critical instrument of corporate defense.
Ultimately, deadlines act as the vital synchronizer across your entire enterprise. They coordinate developers, cybersecurity experts, and QA testers, ensuring everyone knows exactly when to act. Your designers, project managers, security experts, and testers all rely on these dates, so they aren't just sitting idle waiting for handoffs. Effective deadlines break down silos and keep your highly paid, cross-functional experts perfectly synchronized and operating at absolute peak efficiency.
Which brings us to Section 3, Anatomy of a Deadline, knowing exactly where flexibility exists.
To manage a complex IT portfolio effectively, senior stakeholders absolutely must understand the underlying architecture of project timing. We have to distinguish between two totally different types of targets. First, we have soft deadlines, which are flexible internal progress checks. Their impact? They gently guide the pace of your teams without breaking the project if they shift slightly. Then we have hard deadlines. These are the non-negotiable deliverables, and missing these causes major, very public setbacks. Understanding exactly where flexibility does or does not exist empowers leadership to apply pressure strategically, ensuring you protect the business without completely burning out your teams on arbitrary soft targets.
We can also categorize this architecture by scope, building from the ground up. You have task deadlines, like a developer coding a single feature or a designer drafting a UI screen. Stepping up a level, you have milestone deadlines. That's completing large phases, like the end of development or the conclusion of testing. And finally, project deadlines, the absolute final date the entire solution must be delivered to the client. As a leader, you might only really have visibility into that final project deadline, but remembering that it's held up by hundreds of tiny task and milestone deadlines really helps you appreciate the immense complexity your IT teams are navigating every single day.
Finally, Section 4, Blueprint for Execution. Executing for ROI.
So what's the actual blueprint that successful, highly functioning teams use to manage all these varying deadlines and guarantee your return on investment? Well, they rely on a powerful combination of strong communication and tactical execution. It starts with clear project planning. Successful teams use specific tracking platforms like Jira, Trello, Asana, or Monday.com to maintain absolute visibility across the enterprise. They hold regular status meetings to catch any delays early. They actively break down impossibly large tasks into smaller, manageable ones. And above all, they enforce realistic timelines right from day one. Strong communication between teams is really the vital glue that holds this entire execution blueprint together.
Our source material actually hits the nail on the head with this quote. Deadlines in information technology projects are more than just dates. They are essential tools that help teams deliver solutions efficiently, maintain quality, and meet client expectations. If there is one thing you take away from this explainer, let it be this. These are not mere technical calendar entries. They are the essential tools that govern your operational efficiency, safeguard your product quality, and ensure your absolute biggest business commitments are met from start to finish. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on as you look at your own organization's culture. Ask yourself honestly, are your organization's IT deadlines treated as flexible suggestions that can just be moved at will? Or are they treated as the strategic business commitments they truly are? If you want to protect your budget, mitigate your enterprise risks, and guarantee unwavering client trust, it might be time to elevate how your entire company views the IT deadline. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this structured journey has given you a powerful new perspective to bring into your very next leadership meeting.